Hey guys, it's Morgan. Welcome back to another instructional video. It's been a little while since I put out an in-depth video on mechanical stuff. I've been doing a lot of schlag stuff, been doing a lot of racing, anyway, whatever. But today we are going to probably just check the valves on this KTM 250XC-F is what this thing is with the headlight, but it is an XCF. Yeah, we're going to check the valves. It's running fine. There's no issues, but it's got, I think 60, 70 hours on it. So he wants to get it checked. So let's dive in. First things first though, before you check valves on a 4-stroke, guys, you absolutely need to make sure the bike is cold. What that means is at least room temperature. It also means the best way to make sure of that is leave it overnight. So if you own a shop or you're helping a friend or it's your bike, whatever, park the bike the night before you're planning on doing it, let it sit, then do it. Now, it doesn't have to be like put out where it's cold, 32 degrees or something like that. It just needs not to have run. The reason, the heat in the motor makes metal expand and grow. That changes the lash on the valves and all that good stuff. That's why there is lash in the valves or some gap between the cam and the valve, because it grows and you don't want it to hold it open. That's what happens when valves tighten up. They suck up into the head, they take away that lash, then you start the bike, it runs, it gets a little bit warm, it loses some compression, it might die, but usually what happens is it'll run because of the inertia of running and all that. And then it dies, then you kill it and it won't restart because there's not enough compression to start. So anyway, this bike's been sitting here since yesterday. Let's take the seat and tank off and get in there. All right, guys, we got the top off of the motor, and let me show you guys something. So we could lock this thing at top dead center, and if we have to adjust them, we absolutely will. But let me show you. I've shown lots of people this on lots of videos, but it always bears repeating. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate this motor until like that. Now, I don't know yet if that's top dead center, but I can see that this cam lobe is up, this cam lobe is up. That means they're all up. So there's pressure is off of the valves. Now, that's what you need. That's all you need, is you need pressure off of the valve. You do not need it to be specifically at top dead center compression. You just need to have no pressure on the valve to now check. Now we're going to grab our little guys, as in little guys I mean feeler gauges. This is a 4 and a 5 thousandths. I know that the intakes need to be 4 to 6 thousandths, so we'll start with the 4 thousandths side, and we're going to come in here. That's a little, I think I gotta do the other side. All right, so we'll start on this one. So what we're looking for, guys, is for this to slide between the cam and the follower. And it does, and there's a little bit of a drag, not much. That's good. Now, let's do the other one. The exhausts need to be between like 6 and 8. So grab a little bit thicker one here. All right, there's a 6. Come in here. And these ones you got to come from this side to get to the follower, because if you come from this side, you can't really quite get in there with these short ones. So we come in over here. 6 goes with just a tiny bit of drag, so it's bigger than 6, I'm sure. And that one goes. So we're good. Everything's good. We're within spec. And there's not so much drag on these that I'm worried about it being right at the edge of spec. And even if it was at the edge of spec, I leave them. Because the difference between 6 thousandths and 8 thousandths is obviously 2 thousandths of an inch. It's really, 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 really tiny. And I don't have shims that are that small of an increment. So I like to leave them. If they're on the tight side of spec, I still leave them. Also, tight side of spec generally tends to make more horsepower because it opens the valves just a little bit further than 2 more thousandths, which actually in an engine is quite a bit. If you guys are engine builders or you trust me, 2 thousandths is a lot. But you can actually make a little more power like that with this many hours on it. It's not like they're tightening up yet. So If when these tighten up, then we'll adjust them, we'll be good to go. Probably by that point, it'll be time for a top end. Anyway, if they even tighten up, then found that the KTMs usually just don't tighten up. They're incredible machines. They seem to last a really long time unless you let dirt get past the air filter. So yeah, it'll probably be time for a top end long before these tighten up. Then we can take it off, test all this stuff on the bench, make sure it's perfect, set it back on before we go together. Anyway, I'm going to button this thing up and change the front tire on it now. All right, guys, there you go. Valve check on a 2021 250XC-F KTM. That's pretty much it. We're good. Valves look good. Now we're just going to, because like I said, it's running before, so there's no real reason to check anything else. The oil on the cams looks good. Everything looks shiny and happy and slippery like it's supposed to. There's no indication of any kind of issue. Part of the deal when I do a valve check is to do air filter maintenance, so we're going to go ahead and do that now, but I've done that video lots of times. No reason to bring you guys in. I hope this helps you guys get some stuff done on your own bike, maybe save you some money. If it did, and you're super happy with this content, maybe consider giving us a subscribe. Also, check out our Patreon page. If you like what we're doing, you want to help us out, it would be super cool to financially help the channel out. Anyway, love you guys. See you on the next one.